Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today I'm going to be taking you guys for a tour of my truck garage in Grand Theft Auto Online. So obviously this garage is going to be kind of off-road focused and it's going to have a lot of big trucks. So if you're into big trucks, then you're probably going to like this video. Now before we get into this video, I just want to say this isn't to flex or anything like that. I don't know why anyone would take this as flexing, but I've got comments in the past accusing me of flexing in GTA and saying it's pathetic or something. I don't know. I'm not insane, so I don't take videos that way. But anyway guys, we're gonna hop inside. Alright guys, so starting off with the first truck in the garage, we have the Vapid Bobcat. Now this is a truck that I don't actually think you can buy in GTA. Pretty sure you just have to steal these off of the street, but this is a really underappreciated truck in the game. As you guys can see, it's got a V10 in it, so you know it's gonna fly pretty much. Now there's several different iterations of the Bobcat that you can get. You can get one without a bull bar on the front of it, you can get one with a canopy, you can get all kinds of different ones, and overall it's a really cool looking truck and is definitely a pretty underappreciated truck. Try and pick one of these things up if you guys see one driving around. They're really cool. On to the next one though, we have the Vapid Caracara 4x4, of course. Probably within my top 3 favorite trucks in the entire game. I really like it. It's obviously based off of a Ford Raptor, or at least a Ford F-150. It has a lot of customization that you can do to it. It's really quick. It's such a good truck. I would definitely recommend picking this thing up if you guys don't have one. You can also win some races with it probably. It's pretty good for that sort of thing. So Vapid Caracara 4x4. Pretty good truck. On to the next one here, we have the Vapid Riada. Now I'm not going to mess up the price this time. There's many of you who corrected me on the price of this thing. The Riada goes for $380,000, not 1.3 million, so anyway guys, I've learned my lesson. It's 380k. Now the Riada has some great customization as well. Obviously it is a very big vehicle, as you guys can see by my character. I mean, he's nowhere near the roof of it. So the Riada is a huge vehicle. It's a great off-roader. Like I said, tons of customization. Just a really good truck, guys. I would definitely recommend the Riada. Now the Riada is actually a truck. This is just a canopy that I have on it. Obviously you can make it look like a little bit of an SUV coupe if you want to, so hey, there you go. On to the next one though, we have the Vapid Guardian. Now this is a super underrated truck in my opinion. It goes for 375k and it's really good. Now the Guardian's interesting because when you're off-roading with this thing, or well, doing anything, you can actually drive the car almost completely underwater. As long as the stacks are out of the water, I'm pretty sure you can keep driving this thing, which is pretty crazy. Now on top of that, you can also have players standing in the back of it, and as long as they're in there, they won't fall out apparently, from what I've heard. I don't know that that's true. I haven't tested it myself, but I have heard that. Obviously it is a 4-door, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe 2 people can actually sit in the back of this thing on the 2 boxes there. I'm almost 100% sure about that, so definitely a pretty cool truck, especially for 375 grand. Can't really go wrong with this thing. Definitely pick one of these things up if you guys are interested. On to the next truck, of course, we have the Vapid Sand King XL. This is, of course, the 4-door version. There is a 2-door version with the extended cab, so the Sand King, you guys all know about this thing. It's got a little bit of customization you can do to it. Pretty OG truck. Obviously, you can steal it right off of the street. I don't really think I need to say too much about the Sand King. I feel like everyone's got one in their truck garage. Like, how can you not, right? So I'm not going to say too much about it. That's the Vapid Sand King XL. Up next, we have the Benefactor Dubsta 6x6. Now, you might not consider this a truck. I do because, well, it's got a bed, so, I mean, why not? But there's a couple people who don't consider these a truck. I don't really know what their reasoning is for that, but now the 6x6 is actually truly 6-wheel drive. A lot of people think it's only 4-wheel drive to the rear wheels, but the front wheels do actually drive, which is really cool. The 6x6 is really good for climbing things, and it's also kind of good for drifting, surprisingly. I'm pretty sure that like 80% of the power on this vehicle goes to the rear wheels and only like 20% goes to the front ones. So it's actually really good at drifting, which you probably wouldn't expect, but hey, it actually is. So cool vehicle though, only 250k for that one, so pretty solid. Up next, obviously, we have the Canis Camacho. This is one of the fastest off-road vehicles in the entire game. If you want to win off-road races, I would definitely recommend picking up a Camacho. This thing is absolutely amazing for off-roading. It is, of course, 4-wheel drive. Has a ton of customization that you can do to it as well. As you guys can see, I've got duffel bags in the back of this thing. I've also removed the roof and I've added a light bar up there. tons of stuff you can do to this thing. You can make this car look so different. One person's Camacho customization will be so different from another person's, it's actually pretty crazy. Definitely pick up a Camacho if you guys don't have one already as well. It's a super useful truck. Up next, we have the Bravado Bison. Now this is another one that you can steal right off of the street, and it's a very, very solid truck. I feel like it's a pretty overlooked truck as well. Obviously, it's heavily based off of a Ram 1500. I wish that this thing had a little bit more customization that you can do to it, and I kind of wish that it was actually able to be raised up. I feel like it's a little bit too low to the ground, but hey, that might just be my opinion. I'd like to see Rockstar add an updated Bison into the game. I think that would be a great addition. It's actually a 6-seater, very similar to the Vapid Guardian. You can sit 2 players on these back boxes here, within the actual box on the vehicle, of course. The Bison is actually really fast for being a vehicle you can get off of the street, and for being a truck. It's like a sports truck. It's kind of crazy how quick this thing is once you start moving. It is rear-wheel drive only, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but Bison, super sick truck. I definitely recommend buying one of these or picking one up off of the street. Super cool, super underrated. Up next, of course, we have the Karin Rusty Rebel. This is based off of an older Toyota. I really, really like the Karin Rebel. It's just a solid truck, man. I mean, obviously in GTA we've got so many editions of this thing. We have the clean Rebel, we have the rusty one, we have the boat one with the machine gun on the back of it, and then we've also got another one with just a machine gun on the back, I'm pretty sure. Pretty cool. The Karin Rebel also has a ton of customization you can do to it. You can make this thing look pretty crazy, which I really respect it. I mean, Rockstar went hard with the Rebel. It's a solid truck. It's a pretty iconic truck used by every militant group on Earth. The Toyota Hilux or the Toyota Tacoma or whatever they use, man. It's pretty well known, I feel like. So really good truck. Definitely get one of those if you guys don't have one. And last but not least, we have a super underrated truck that's not actually a truck. This thing is technically in the SUVs category, but it's obviously a truck. I mean, we're not going to argue about that. If you want to argue in the comments, don't even bother. So, of course, it's the Vapid Contender. Now, this thing goes for $250,000 as well, very similar to the 6x6, and it's very good, man. This thing is so fast. If you take it off-roading, it's going to basically climb whatever you want it to. It's super quick, the suspension is great on it, such a good off-roader, and it's just such an underrated truck. I wish more people would drive the Contender. It's just so solid, man. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it for my truck garage in GTA. It probably hasn't changed very much since the last time I did a video on it. It was about 9 months ago, so a lot of you guys were not even subscribed to the channel back then, but if you've seen a garage tour from me previously, then probably didn't see much change in my truck garage. Unfortunately, GTA doesn't seem to add that many trucks into the game, so this is what my garage is looking like right now. Maybe next time I'll actually have some new vehicles, but I've been getting requests to do garage tours, so I figured this is a good place to start. I've done a few other garage tours. If you guys are interested, you can just look up HarmNone Garage Tour. You'll find them. Anyway guys, that is it for the video. If you enjoyed this, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.